Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Phantom Strategies. So in this video review, I want to cover Bitcoin Cash. And the reason I want to cover it is because I think there's a nice upside potential. In short term, it can easily go up to 2000 mark. So I just want to give you a quick update on that and give you my thoughts on it, what I'm looking at, and why this could be a very profitable trade in near term. All right, so before we get started, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, hit those notification icons so you can get these videos right away as soon as I upload them on YouTube. Um, Give me a thumbs up if you think this was helpful, if you're learning something, if this content is helping you with your investment or with your trading. That means a lot to me. That gives me motivation to make this videos for you guys. Please give me a thumbs up, post it in the comments, like what do you think about it? If you own a position in Bitcoin Cash, have you heard something? Because I learn a lot from the community itself. I learn from the Phantom community, people like you who post in the comment because you are also um, you do your own research and that you give come back to the community and you provide your research and we so it's like a collaborative effort, all right? I'm providing you the technicals, but you also probably like heard something different or something that should be other investors should be aware of. So it's a collaborative effort, all right? So I wanna keep it that way. So post it in the comment if you have a position or if you know something about it that other people don't, or something that you think that might be beneficial to investors to know. All right. So you can do. Let's kind of do a quick overview of what is Bitcoin Cash and the fundamentals. So Bitcoin Cash is pretty much is a hard fork from the original Bitcoin. You can read more about it. You can go to CoinMarketCap or you can come to coincheckup.com, read more about what is the reasoning behind the hard fork, what are the development community, what was the logic behind it, why they decided to come up with Bitcoin Cash, and it's pretty much how to do with adjusting the difficulty level for each block. I'm not going to read through a whole description and the abstract behind it, but you can come here and read through it. It's exactly pretty much similar to Bitcoin, but the difficulty levels are set differently compared to Bitcoin. All right, there's a good team behind it. There's a very strong, driven team who are behind Bitcoin Cash. So there's a good community support behind Bitcoin Cash. All right, so keep that in mind. It will be a lot of investors, like a bigger investors, when they come into cryptocurrency, like a hedge fund, they might be looking into coins like this. When they might think, hey, Bitcoin is a little bit overcrowded, or if they think that the transaction fees and all that might be too much for Bitcoin, they might be looking for something, a small position, like a small portfolio position of their portfolio might go toward coins like Bitcoin Cash. All right, because Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash is very similar. There is it has to do with the difficulty levels, and but it's a um, it's a store value. It's pretty much the it's a store value coin. All right. So read more about it if you want to about the fundamental. That will kind of give you a background on how to like what is exactly they're trying to offer. Okay, so coming back to the technicals on Bitcoin Cash. So Bitcoin Cash originally had it a really the breakout moment came when they got announced to be on um, what do you call it? That Coinbase exchange, yes. The original breakout came when they were announced to be on the Coinbase exchange right around the December timeframe. Since then, it went all the way up to 4,000 level. That was up, like it was crazy, like how I was watching the market that day, and I was like, this is insane. And it's like I would never imagine to. I didn't have Bitcoin Cash. I still don't have Bitcoin Cash in my portfolio. Just a full disclosure, I don't have any Bitcoin Cash, but it's coming to a level where it's very attractive. And the reason I'm saying that um, is since that big um, blowout we had back in December where it got introduced on Coinbase, people started selling it. People started taking profit a lot of people took profit. People who have been holding it all the way throughout, like, the good part of, like, 2017, they started taking profit, and we were in this gradual down channel, almost like this falling wedge action, that we have been going through. Right now, what I'm seeing here is, like, it found a support right at 815 level, around 815, around 800 level. It found the support, which was a previous support as well, back in November 19th, and back on previous resistance back on August the 18th. So it's coming to that major support level, and since that support level, we had a very nice uptick from that 800 level support to coming all the way up to about 1300. So that's a pretty decent, decent gain on that. So let's just take a look, like, from that low. Where can I hold on? Yeah, that low. No, not that one. Let me just. Mm, where is this price range? Yeah. Okay, so that's almost like 82%. We had an 82% since the low that we made on February the 6th. Okay, from February to or like, I think it's what date is that? Yeah, February the 6th when we made the low, and right now we are sitting around um, 12 or 1290 or 1294 to be exact. So it's almost like 75-80% gains that we had since then. But what I'm seeing is I'm seeing an inverse head and shoulder pattern right here. So what do I mean by inverse head and shoulder? Inverse head and shoulder patterns are basically where you have a left shoulder and head and a right shoulder. And if you break those shoulder line, when you break those necklines, um, you will see a nice momentum and nice uptick. And we are coming right at those necklines right now. So if I blow this up a little bit more, okay. So if I blow this up a little bit more, um, for intermediate, there's a resistance right around 1488. Let me mark that. Okay, 1480 for intermediate. Um, and for swing trade, I think this has a room to go up to about that 2000 level. And let me mark that right here. Okay, so the reason I think that it has a room to even go up that level is because if you compare the Fibonacci, if you take the Fibonacci retracement, where'd that go? Let me find it. Sorry, this is just allowing to find my here. Okay, so if I take the Fibonacci retracement from all the way to the top we had and and take it to the bottom, I'm getting the 38% retracement right at around 2037. Okay, and that's right at that resistance level that we previously found the support. So for the swing trade, I have a feeling that if we can get out of um, this the trend line right now, we can easily go toward that 2000 mark. So, as far as the trade goes, what you can do is what I mean. This is like completely don't take it as a investment strategy, but like or like what do you call it? My that I'm trying to tell you what you should do or something. But what you can do is like make a what do you make a trade on this and put a stop loss right underneath that 1180 mark. So what that will give you is like enough room or enough breathing room for this trade to actually fully work out and not get um, like stopped out of the winning trade. Okay, this could be a potentially a very good winning trade, a swing trade, um, in a short term, because there's a on the daily there's an inverse head and shoulder, and if I go to the weekly. Okay, so if you look at the weekly, there's the last week when we completed the last week, we had this the hammer that we built on the candlestick, and hammers are pretty bullish, and that signals a lot of, signals a reversal to a lot of like trading softwares. Okay, so this pattern, a lot of technician, a lot of chartists when they look at the weekly time frame and look at the hammer on the weekly, that signals like a reversal pattern. So that's why I'm more like optimistic um, for Bitcoin Cash in near term, and I think this can be a very profitable trade, given that if you put nice like stop loss on it and monitor the trade carefully. So the risk to reward ratio in Bitcoin Cash is pretty good. You can put the stop loss on your Coinbase account, or I mean GDEX. If you have GDEX, it has stop losses, so you can put the stop losses on that, putting it right underneath around 1180 level, or around, even if you want to be a little bit more liberal, you can go up to like 1160, 1150 at most, but make sure that you stay over, don't go too low, because in order, we haven't broken that neckline yet. All right, so we need to, first of all, we need to break the resistance of around like 1300 level. um, we have the intermediate, we have this trend line that's coming all the way from the uh, December time frame. We have the intermediate resistance around 1462. So that's why I'm saying that if you put a stop loss around here, around that 1150, 1160 mark, you will have enough wiggle room, um, in case if we have like a little bit like a volatile market in this week or next week. So you're covered. Basically, you're just protecting yourself from any downside risk. All right. So, and you're taking the emotion out of your trading. You're just trading. You're making this trade. You know that, hey, this is how much I can lose on a trade, and the upside potential. This is what is the upside potential on it. All right. And the other thing you can do is like once the trade start moving in that direction, if the price action start moving in your direction, you can start gradually start moving that stop losses in that upper direction. You can move it to like 1250, then to 1300. So gradually you can start moving those stop losses. So this is, I think this is a good swing trade, um, in my opinion. I mean, people can hold it for longer term too, but just like there are a lot of other coins that I'm planning to hold it for longer term. But I think this is one of the coin that is good technical team behind it. The risk to reward is pretty good right now, and overall, I think if you manage your downside risk on this one, you can the upside potential will be pretty good on it. So you can play it as a swing trade, you can play it as a long-term trade, but I think the entry point right now is pretty decent on this coin. All right. Given that we have a positive, I mean, that's why we are putting the stop losses to protect our investment, to make sure that we are not, what do you call it? We are not over or getting over cocky, and like we're like, okay, this is the low, nothing, we are gonna go to moon from now, from here point on. No, we don't have, I don't want to go to the moon. All right. I rather like stay here, but like I want to make sure that you are getting protection, that in your investment, that's how you need to like when you do this kind of like when you apply this kind of logics, when you apply this kind of methodology in your trading, it becomes a part of you. I have said this plenty of times. When you these are the habits, these are good habits that become part of you. Okay, this will really help you in your future investment, not just this thing, not just with this trade, any future investment, whether it's in like um, real estate market, or whether it's in like stock market, anything, it will this habit becomes a second nature. All right, and that's what we are trying to achieve here. We are we are human as a we are very adaptive, and but the way we become adaptive is doing the same thing again and again, and that will becomes your second nature. All right. So all in all, just to recap, I see a nice inverse head and shoulder pattern on Bitcoin Cash. I think there is a good entry point right now. We have to break this neckline that we are seeing is right around 1350 mark. If you think that you want to like go on this trade, then you can put the stop loss around 11 and nothing below 1150. But anything like 1150 to be liberal, 11 80 to be more conservative, but just want to make sure you have enough breathing room, so that you don't get like kicked out of the trade. But you do want to give the stop losses, all right? So that's pretty much it. The weekly, as we covered, weekly looking pretty nicely as well. It has a like a hammer on the weekly reversal pattern, so that's all bullish. That a lot of the technician and the chartists will look at those things, and they will have you know they will see the reversal signal in it. So you will see more like trading algorithms and all that will point those out, that hey, there's a flag, there's a potential buy opportunity in Bitcoin Cash. All right. So that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you think, if you have a position in it, or if you're planning to if you're planning to take a position in here. And I will do another coin for you in a little bit. All right. Thank you. Bye.